Welcome to day 131 of our BU 365-day challenge to do one thing every day that improves us. Today we are going through the SOAP framework with respect to our financial well-being, our financial health. We're focusing on finances, money, anything that has anything to do with finances and money, and whatever else you categorize in that area or aspect of our life, of the life framework. And today we're going through the SOAP framework. Yesterday we talked about what is our financial story? What is our financial situation? We picked one area that we want to apply the SOAP framework to in order to make a change, make it, I say better, but to make a change in that area or aspect of our life. So I selected coming up with the money for generating the money, creating the money, pulling it out of thin air. That's how we do things, right? We manifest things. To take a family trip to Texas this fall for my nephew's wedding. I'm excited about it. It'll be the first time the entire family has ever been together in Texas. I don't know that we've all our extended families have ever been together in one place, and we won't all be there. I know my nephew's not going to make it, and probably my brother-in-law, they're too busy. He's too busy with his law firm, but the rest of us are all going to get down and try to go to Texas. And I'm not sure about my granddaughter, but I'm going to work on that. So I want to get the money for that trip. Now, I figure it's going to cost between $6,000 and $10,000 to make it a great family vacation for us to all go down. So how am I going to do that? Well, the O in our SOAP framework stands for options, alternatives. How are we going to come up with what are ways to possibly fill the gap from where we are to where we want to be? So if I'm going from $0 to $6,000 to $10,000, and let's say $6,000 just to make it specific, what am I going to do? What are the possible ways that I can create that or make that or find that money? Now, I want to brainstorm, but we're going to do a specific kind of brainstorming. I realized as I went back and looked at the previous months, we have used brainstorming to come up with our options for every area and aspect of the framework so far. Why? Because brainstorming is the best, fastest, easiest way to come up with alternatives, to look for options. It's also powerful in that it helps us to not judge or criticize the options. That gets our creativity and our mind flowing in different directions than it might if we didn't do something like brainstorming, where we have rules, where we don't criticize, we don't judge the options until that's the next phase of the problem-solving, decision-making, brainstorming process, right? We just get it all out there. We use a whiteboard. I use a notebook. Whatever works for us. Post-it notes are actually my favorite way to brainstorm. I just think of things and I carry around a Post-it notepad as I'm going about my day, and I think of something that's a possible option. I write it on there, and then I just save up all the Post-it notes. I put them on the wall, or usually the wall or a door or a whiteboard at the end of the day, and then I can look at and I can say, well, are there any common themes here? What are the ones that I feel most attracted to? And I will analyze those options, and we'll talk about how we make decisions and how we choose among alternatives, especially in options, especially when they're not the exact same thing and they have different characteristics or different requirements in order to make them happen. Maybe it takes more time or more energy or more resources up front to create something that we want. So today we're going to use a tool called the Power Vision Movie. And it's a specific type of visualization that I learned from my friend, coach, and mentor, Jim Edwards. If you're in the online world, you probably have heard of Jim Edwards, depending on what niche you're in. But if you're in any type of marketing or online marketing or copywriting, you know Jim Edwards. He has an incredible product and service that he created called, I can't remember what he calls it now. It's something Wizards, but he also joined forces with ClickFunnels and created funnel scripts, so that if you are an online funnel builder at all, you've probably heard of ClickFunnels. They're the leader in the industry. And if you haven't heard of them, I think they are the ones that I think Russell Brunson and the team there are single-handedly responsible for taking the sales process and turning it into what people call a funnel, and how we funnel people into our organization, and funnel hacking and things, and then using that to sell products and services online on the internet. Well, Jim Edwards took Russell's books and converted them into automatic wizards or scripts that you can use. You can just plug in a few pieces of information and it'll pop out copy for you. And for those of us that are not great copywriters or even consider ourselves copywriters at all, it helps us to get that first rough draft and a great first rough draft to tweak and change for any place that we need copy. I'm going to walk my son through using it to create copy for his real estate investing business, things like that. And I've helped a lot of people use it to create copy for their businesses, because the majority of us are not naturally good copywriters, and we're not good at putting ourselves in our customers' shoes. So what is a Power Vision movie that I credit Jim Edwards with teaching me? It's a specific type of visualization that you imagine yourself in a movie, and a powerful movie, right? You see yourself doing, being, having, creating exactly what you want in any area or aspect of your life. And I find that for me, it's worked particularly well with this area of finances and financial things, or visualizing getting my perfect job, or working with the perfect clients, or creating whatever it is that I want to create. But financially, those things are so concrete for me. To me, it's easy to create things that are measurable and concrete. But I also want to add the emotions to it, the thoughts, the feelings, everything that I want to experience in the future. I want to experience that now, and I want to do it often, right? So I close my eyes. I spend a few minutes just imagining and putting myself in that movie. So say I wanted a new car. Say my financial thing is I want a new car. Now this one's close to home because my daughter hates her car and wants a new car. Well, cars are really in short supply right now. And so she's researching online and doing all these things to pick out the perfect car for her. But what I would encourage her to do is put yourself in a movie and put yourself in that ideal car. What does it have? What does it have to have? What does it feel like? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What are you seeing? What are all the emotions you're experiencing as you're actually driving that new car? As you're actually having, and I'm going to use being in Texas with my entire family at this gorgeous resort, which I've already seen pictures of and are on my phone already. And I'm going to put myself in that movie. What are the sights, the sounds, the smells, the tastes? What are we eating? What are we experiencing? What relationships and conversations am I having? And the more detail I can put in that, the easier it'll be for me to come up with the resources to make that a reality, because my mind will have experienced it as if I've already been there. I hope I'm explaining this well enough. I think Jim wrote a book about it that you can probably get on Amazon these days. For sure, he did an audio book or a cassette. Back in the days of the cassettes, that's how long ago I learned this. A cassette on Amazon about that. I don't know if it's still available. I guess I should check before I talk about it every time I talk about Power Vision movies, but I have not checked because I learned it so long ago. But I do know that he talks about it in his course on 5 steps to get anything that you want. And I might not have the title exactly right for that either, but I like to give Jim credit for this because it's been such a great and powerful tool in my life. So today, what's our action item? We are going to create a Power Vision movie of the end result, the future, exactly what we want, because that'll help solidify the gap and motivate us to get that even more. But it'll also, as we're doing that, give us ideas to add to our brainstorm list. Remember, we're going to do at least 10 possible options to get what we want from where we are to what we want. And then we're going to share 3 of them in the comments below. Why 3? Because we're going to use 3 tomorrow to use an action is what A stands for. But we first have to analyze the alternatives in order to take action and know which action to take. So today, brainstorm at least 10, more than 10, the more the better. The more possible options you come up with, the more combinations and ideas and things that you can create. I usually come up with at least 20 before I ever go to the next step of making a decision for anything that I have to think about on a conscious level. Subconsciously, I might only come up with 1 or 2 alternatives, pick between them, and boom, move forward and take action right away. And if it doesn't work, I'll do the other one, or I'll do something else, or I'll come up with other things. When it comes to quick and easy subconscious level decisions and choices. But for the bigger things, I will do things like I will sit and visualize and have the Power Vision movie, and then my my post-it notes. Always walk around with a pile of post-it notes and generate ideas like a brainstorming technique. We talked last month, I believe, about 10 different types of brainstorming. So if you're not clear what brainstorming is, hit me up and ask, and you and I will just banter for 5 minutes on a quick brainstorming session. All right, have an awesome day. If I can help you, ask. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow. We're going to talk about the A in our SOAP framework. And of course, already, and if you've been following along for this challenge, you know what A stands for, but we're going to look at what action we need to take. And then how do we decide what action to take? All right, see you tomorrow.